Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Keone Productions. Brand new show coming out in January. The awesome podcast with Stephanie and Chris. We'll have a podcast and we'll also have a webcast for your viewing pleasure because who doesn't want to look at that beautiful face that Chris has? And then there's also Stephanie. All right, Stephanie and Chris, how are you doing?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night. Now, there's only a special sort of people that can get me up at 7:45 in the morning because I don't open my eyes usually until 10 a.m. So
I'm so excited that you're actually here.
yeah, I am here in spirit. And trust me, Stephanie, if there was anywhere else in the world I could be besides here, I would be there. All right. So we all know Stephanie coming over from the wonderful podcast and webcast with Julia. Now we're going on to this brand new venture, and we've upgraded the looks of our co-host from Julia to Chris. So, Chris, how are you? Who are you? And what's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be doing this, I think. We'll find out. Ask me about 45 minutes. But yeah, I'm good.
Ask you in about 45 minutes.
Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Rosh Hashanah, and whatever else out there we can throw into the bowl. Okay. Absolutely. So the first thing we always ask when we talk about Meet the Cast is, where are you from, first of all, before I get into that?
Me?
Yeah, we already know where Stephanie is. She lives in this.
Well, what about Stacy?
I love that you just called her Stacy.
We don't know where Stacy lives.
I want to know where they're both from.
Where are you from, Stacy?
I'm from a town in northeast of England called Washington, which is actually George Washington's ancestral home, and but it's in the northeast. So I'm what you would call a Geordie, which is ultimately why my company's called Geordie. Because if you come from that town, you're a Geordie.
Oh, okay. You learn something new every day.
If you listen.
And Stephanie's a mob wife. Tell us how that's going, Stephanie.
A what?
A mob wife.
Oh my goodness.
I thought he said hot wife.
We're not going to talk about that right now. But I did get a new puppy this year. We can talk about that. I would like to. Can I talk about Chris?
You can do whatever you want.
I can go back to bed. You can handle it.
We're not up to that part yet. I just want to say that one of the reasons why, first of all, he's an incredible personality, but one of the reasons why I wanted to do this with Chris is because he's basically like the Chanel, Hermes, LV of the ballroom world. Like, he is the top of the top. So I think that a lot of people, follow fashion on your channel and designers and, you have a lot of models, actors, things like that. But people might not know about this other world where there are designers specifically for the ballroom world. You see Dancing with the Stars and things like that. But I don't know how much people really think about the fashion, where it comes from and where it stems from. This right here is the icon and the founder of everything brilliant in the fashion world for ballroom. So
wow. Yeah. Okay, so that's all from me. That was great. Thank you very much. Can't top that.
You actually
talk about giving me something I can't live up to.
Well, here's the trick. Now, Chris, tell us about Stephanie.
No, wait. To do that.
Yeah, everything she said about me, the same for her.
I'm just a ballroom dancer that is just.
Actually, no. I remember Stephanie from back at Rogers Dance Sports Center a million years ago, and that must have been 25 years ago, something like that, which is weird because she's literally 24. So maybe it was.
I was gonna say she's barely 30. So what's going on there?
Yeah. Yeah. When Jordy first started, it was a tiny little room or basement in a very small house that didn't look like where you're at right now, and it was.
Wow, I didn't even know you came to. Yeah, that was a rented house and it was like a split level. And we started it in the lower level of that. And yeah, I was teaching. So I
Yeah,
was
you were
teaching guys.
dancing. You were a competitor, and I specifically remember the dress. I wish I still had it to show you. It was gold. It was very, very bright gold, and stoned and very pretty. Not what you are doing now, but still amazing and striking and all that good stuff. So,
And nobody's gonna be able to hear any of this because my wife just woke up and she's now making coffee and it's making so much noise.
No,
oh,
we
I don't
can't
hear
hear it.
anything.
No, we can't hear it. And it's always,
Yeah.
I always tell people when we do these shows, hey, we're not Fox and NBC. I don't have $1 billion. And people kind of love the authenticness, especially when, and Stephanie knows this, they love it when it's chaos, when
That's
just
true.
chaos ensues.
Oh, just leave this thing on then for the rest of the day. It'll be perfect.
Actually, that would be wonderful to follow you.
I've had this idea, and everybody around me is too chicken shit to do it. But I thought it'd be really cool. Just because we have chorus, right, which streams. I said just leave the cameras on Jordy, like let it stream, like like they do with that dolphin or whatever down not a dolphin. What the hell? Something down in Florida, like Shamu or something like that. You
Manatee.
could just
Oh,
view
whale.
this porpoise or whatever they're called. And the idea is they just keep a camera on Jody. You don't even need to have sound on, and just so people can just log in and go, oh, what the hell's going on there now? What's going, because there's so
Actually, you'd
much.
be surprised how many people will log in.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
I've
I
seen
think
them
it'd
do
be
that.
fantastic. I would watch it.
Yeah, I've seen people do that on Poshmark. They do that. They'll
Oh,
just
yeah?
leave the camera on, and you're just kind of like people go on there just waiting for something to happen.
Stephanie, isn't that the website where you told me you like to watch people sleep?
Oh, I think that's a thing, right? Isn't that a
There's so
thing?
many other people. I'm telling you, I think that you're gonna have to remember me. I never said that, but I do host on there for
Oh, no.
luxury bags, and I don't think I ever told you that, but maybe I did.
Okay, I think you did. I'm just hoping you're not back to showing your feet. That's all. I hope we're done with that stage of your life.
Showing my feet? What are you talking about?
Chris,
No, that was Stacy.
Chris, this is my favorite part about Stephanie, when she doesn't know I'm obviously joking, and she defends herself.
Yeah, that's true. You're all right.
It's a joke. Stop
You
I
know
know.
why? Because I think you touched a nerve.
Oh,
I was going to
Uh-oh.
show my feet right now, but then I
That-
realized my toes are not painted, so I'm not going to do that.
Mine are. Wait a minute.
I knew he was going to say that because I know his toes are painted. He looks like a person who is very well manicured and pedicured up.
Is that I don't have any pants on. I can show you how groomed I am.
We'll have to do that in the private message area. I know Stephanie as how do I know Stephanie? I know her as the lady that yells at her old dancers in videos. No, she showed this one video. What's his name, with the adorable older gentleman?
That was Nimal. Okay.
Well,
Chris actually designs costumes for Nimal, and that was before we actually had costumes. He decided he's 82 now, I think.
Is he really? Wow.
Yeah, 81 or 82. He decided he was going to go back on the floor at like 80, and this was before we sat down with Chris for our designs for this round, and it was his first time on the floor. So we did a podcast with Keone, and I was, well, he deserves to be yelled at a lot. Chris,
He likes it. Actually, he pays extra for that.
yeah, they kind of yell at each
he
other.
fights with people on the dance floor, like you saw in the practice room. Like I just did what you just said, and I just kind of filmed clips of him, just like us warming up and stuff. Sure enough, 3 seconds in, he's already in a fight with a big, tall, Russian guy screaming at him because, of course, it's that guy's fault that they bumped into each other. Every time we compete, it's always somebody else's fault. I'm like, you literally gunned for that person. Floorcraft, you're supposed to not crash into people. That's like a big thing. I hate when people crash into each other. And he crashes into somebody in every single dance.
So do people listening to this know what the dance world is?
No.
Well, we're gonna get into that. But my favorite thing about Stephanie when she is recording videos is there's always a part where her camera starts filming something, and she always says, you're not supposed to record in here, but and I'm like, oh God. And she's just holding the camera. It's not even inconspicuous. She's just holding it up.
Oh, no comment.
It's always, I was like, I know it's coming somewhere in this video. Oh, there it is. Check that.
I plead the fifth.
All right. So for people who have not watched our previous show and are tuning in today, Stephanie, you're a dance instructor, and you just informed us that Chris does all the beautiful designs for costumes and ideas, and the other 90 million things you complimented him, which is great. So, kind of explain what is Ballroom, and then how does like the Ballroom seasons work? Because you guys do events all throughout the year, right? So, are there assigned like it's winter ball, summer ball? I don't know. That sounds ridiculous,
So,
but you kind of let us know how that works.
so the dance world is, join
Yeah,
in, Stephanie,
please.
but basically the dance world is like any other like niche market, right? Where it doesn't matter whether you're showing dogs or whether you're doing gymnastics, it's exactly the same. So you have sort of like the beginner kids levels, you have like the really good amateur levels, and then you have like the top professional levels. And then the beautiful thing about the dance world is, in addition to that, you have this pro-am world where anybody who's has a little bit of money and a bit of time can go to the local dance studio, dance with the local instructor, and then ultimately enter competitions and feel like a star for 5 minutes and compete against other people like that. That's where the sort of the money is in the dance world. But that's on a parallel path. It doesn't, those two never really feed into one another. So you've got like when I started dancing, Stephanie started dancing, whatever, you're a kid, and then from a kid you compete as a youth, and then an amateur, and then a pro, and then in Stephanie's case, you turn pro and teach. And then you have the other side of things. Normally pro-am, they started as adults, they finished their career, or they finally got some money together, whatever. So they're dancing, and now, and to be fair, I mean, they're not as good as the pros, but some of them are actually very, very, very good. And they're very committed, but they didn't start dancing until 30s and 40s, things like that. So they dance with their teachers and they compete against each other, and that's the dance world. There's each little section of the world has its own season, which is why, sort of like for my company, we're very diverse. We deal with all of the different branches of the industry. So there's never an off season, ever. Like now it's January 30th, and in 2 weeks we're already, the first major of the year is in Bournemouth, England, and we're already all of the serious dance world we're all going over there to the bleakest of bleak places, Bournemouth, in January. But we go there for a week, and the season's already off and going.
Chris, what would be your favorite? I was just thinking while you were talking, because you design costumes and things. What would be your favorite decade to do? Would it be the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and why?
Are you talking about dancing, or are you talking about just in
No,
general?
designing with the style of the time.
Oh, I mean the 50s. I mean, I love I'm obsessed with the 50s, American in the 50s. Towards the end of the 40s, but that period was so beautiful. And guys were guys and girls were girls, and girls loved to wear big, really take on the femininity, and guys are wearing those, like cool, looking like Marlon Brando and James Dean and stuff. But then if you got the leftovers from the 40s, so the dads in the 50s are still wearing double-breasted suits and stuff. I don't know, it was a great time fashion-wise. Or the 70s, as weird as those two times are, because the 70s was just like anything goes. So there's a lot of freedom with that.
What about you, Stephanie? What's your favorite fashionable decade?
I actually do love the 40s and 50s as well. So, or even like the 20s sometimes, but definitely the 40s.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I love also like old Hollywood. Like every time every time we sit down to design, I'm like Hollywood, Hollywood. How like I always have pictures of like old Hollywood, or even like when red carpet, or they're wearing kind of that old Hollywood look. I absolutely love that elegance,
That's
sophistication.
actually, honestly, that's full of shit. She's always showing me pictures of strippers and Vegas showgirls and going,
Oh, you weren't
can it
supposed
be
to
like this,
say
but
that.
less classy?
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
do you remember when you choreographed our kinky boots routine? Like that was what I was going to say. You also have this wonderful way of doing show dances. That's a whole other division. Like if you look at Dancing with the Stars, they're always doing show dances. And I say that only because people know Dancing with the Stars. They don't know what we do, which is way more creative as far as like costuming and all that. But I don't know if you remember. I remember when we had the conversation and you came and you designed kinky boots. You might not even remember. I have so many. I have a closet full of show dance costumes that you've designed.
So is he the one that designed you the assless chaps that you wore in that one dance video?
Why do you have to tell people these secrets?
I just
Chaps are
wanted to
always
know.
assless, by the way.
Oh my God. In the wintertime, that's crazy. It's funny because my favorite fashionable period is the 70s. And I'm glad you threw that one in there. Um, I love the 80s, but I can't picture dance costumes of the 80s.
No, the 80s was not sorry, not to cut you off, but the 80s was such an amazing. I mean, also I was a teenager in the 80s, so I think we all kind of loved the decade we were teenagers in.
Well, I was teenager in the 90s, and I did not like the fashion style of the 90s
Now
over
the
the other
90s
decades.
was the 90s. I think my feeling is this, in a nutshell. You've got the seriousness of the 40s and World War II. Then you've got everybody's happy in the 50s. So now you got everybody just,
Well,
you know,
depending on who you were in the 50s.
well, I'm
But
only talking about America, obviously. So, and then you got the seriousness of like the 60s when the realization of like, well, wait a minute, everybody's not as sweet and pure as we all thought we were in the 50s. And then you've got the 70s where everybody's like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Studio 54, all that crazy stuff. Then
Yeah.
you've got the 80s where I grew up in England. So America in the 80s, the LA Olympics, Dynasty, like the whole, it was like shoulder pads, the big hair. Everybody
yeah,
Uh,
was, you
shoulder
know,
pads and big hair. They
that
always
the
had that.
80s was this decade of excess, right? And there had to be the flip side of that. So the 90s, Nirvana and stuff and grunge and everything, it
Yeah,
just had to come
everything
boom
started
up.
to hip hop blew up, but hip hop style is so much better than it was starting in the 90s. I think the 70s was big for me. Like you said, it's all experiences, right? Like I was
Mm.
making a joke about the 50s, because no one can see me now, but I'm black. The reason why the 70s jumps out to me because for being a black person, that's when black fashion exploded. You know, uh, black fashion wasn't really a thing in the 50s. The 60s, we kind of wore what we could buy. And in the 70s, it's just, I don't know if it was from black cinema uh, exploding, but the fashion sense and the styles were just amazing in the 70s. It was like
It's
all
probably, would you say,
cultures
and
started mattering.
obviously I'm not black because my video's on. I'm very
Well,
white, whitey white.
I can't tell. In the summer, you tan really well. So when I first met you, I thought you were, and now I see in the
On the
winter you
inside.
lighten up. Oh, thank you
No,
for not doing that terrible joke that they always do. Oh, I am from the waist down. I'm like, oh, I didn't see that coming.
oh
no.
boy.
I think I have worse than that. I'm not going to say the joke, but
Well,
anyway, I
I
think
guess.
that maybe like if you really look at the old black and white movies, I think black fashion was there when they were doing the Lindy and the jitterbug and all that dancing. The problem was because of human rights and the racism both in England and in America, but you didn't see it, right? It was all quiet. In the
Yeah.
70s, it became mainstream because of
Yeah.
what had happened in the 60s. So civil rights and everything, not human rights, civil rights. And so all of a sudden, it's like you just pop the top off it and just let it be this fabulous kind of like. But I think the style was always there. Because
Yeah.
if you look at like those old great videos of the dancing, for example,
Mhm.
in post World War II, the African American people had way more style than the whites. Stephanie, you're muted, by the way.
That's
Swing.
just
When I
because
watch
people are.
videos of people doing swing, I'm like, good Lord, that is a workout.
Yeah.
There's a
Like,
whole competition for
it,
just swing.
I feel
It's
like,
like a whole.
and this could be a person talking from a person who doesn't have an expertise in dance. When I'm watching, like, concerts are different, events are different, but I'm just talking about, let's just say, the club scene. It's like there's less movement. There's more body movement in certain areas of the body, but it's like you go back in time, and the further you go back, the movement is so much more and creative.
Just to be really authentic, you see the sun's coming through the window. Then Keanu was absolutely doing a full-on yawn in the middle of that question.
Oh God, I didn't realize that was so
Oh,
boring. Oh my
wait, this is
God.
fascinating. I just have to.
Uh,
It's like I have to talk about dance at 7 at 8 a.m.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, is this thing on? Yes, swing's exhausting.
Swing and the fastest in the ballroom world is the jive, where they take all of the Lindy kind of old school and they kind of combine it
uh,
together and do it more upright than
Well,
jitterbug and things
so
like
I
actually,
gotta
yeah,
break out
let's
my Zoom
explain
suit.
that a little bit, Keone. In addition to those sort of parallel worlds of pro-am and serious dancing, there's also types of dancing. So, under this this heading of ballroom dancing, there's lots and lots and lots of. So swing, they're their own little niche. Although we've got an American style, which I can explain in a second, there's a dance called swing. In an international style, which is what I used to compete in, there's a dance called jive. But it all originates from Lindy, jitterbug, swing, or that type of dance. But anyway, so there's a style of dancing called American style, and then there's international style. So international style is sort of like the classical ballet, and you could call sort of maybe like American style, maybe more contemporary. Arguably, you would say the level is a little bit lower. It's a because to simplify it, under ballroom dancing, you've got standard and Latin. Latin would be cha-cha, samba, rumba, paso doble, jive. Standard is waltz, foxtrot, quick step, tango, Viennese waltz. So in standard, the guy is in this position the whole time, and the woman's out there. And other than going there to promenade and back there, they never break position. They're in that position as they go around the floor at a million miles an hour. Very, very difficult. And the American smooth, which is American style version of that, is like you're in hold, and then all of a sudden you can break out at any moment and spin open, and it just so. But anyway, and it as it says, American style is predominantly competed only in America, although now it's branching out. Whereas international style is international. So, but there's two different categories of ballroom dancing.
Yeah, I'm glad that you explained that, because obviously, hopefully our viewers will become interested in all this ballroom stuff. And
So hopefully they will, as long as you two are interested. It's gonna happen. All right, you're gonna
God.
have your people who already like it, and you're gonna have your eyes on it. Do they have like cultural categories? For instance, Avanti Studios, where I do my webcast podcast. It's a whole studio. Next door to us is they do Indian dance classes. So everybody, the parking lot gets full. They all come in their cultural wear, and they're just dancing their butt off the entire time in there. Is there different types of like culture categories?
No, not really. It originates, like so. Samba would come from Brazil, cha
Uh-huh.
cha, mambo, Cuba,
Wait, which one? Which one's the forbidden dance?
maybe rumba, maybe
It was
That's
it
the
was
dance
in the
of
I
love.
eighties. It
think
was
he's talking
called
about lambada, but it's
oh,
like
there we go.
it would be under samba, like it would be a move.
Lambada is like a silly little dance that
Yeah,
was around for 5 minutes. It was like a fad, you
yeah.
Because
know.
of I remember the movie. I was like 7 years old or something. Uh,
Yeah,
you
there's a
remember
lot
the
of
movie?
social dances as
You
well.
remember that movie, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I remember from that movie. I was 7 years old, and all I can remember is you don't date the help.
Sound advice.
Well, if they look like the lady in Lambada, it's hard not to, you know.
Oh my God, that
Um,
was so long ago. I don't
yeah.
even remember.
It's
But
easier not to date the help when your hospital looks like Consuela from Family Guy. It's an easier decision, right?
you
Um,
know, so what you within dancing, there's the act of dancing for pleasure, which is of course a lot of fun. Think of it like tennis. I like to play tennis. So after this, if I wanted to, if it wasn't all this snow outside, I could call up a friend and go play tennis because I like to play tennis. But Andrew Agassi's not doing his thing and then going out and play tennis. The fun comes from something else. So those people that you were talking about, they are dancing purely and simply for the love of dancing and then doing something that's true to where they're from. It's what you would call like social dancing. It's a lot of fun. The fun itself is just the dancing to the music and everything like that. The ballroom dancing, there's a branch of that where people could get together on Friday nights at a social and it's really, I'll explain why it's a great social activity. But then the competition world, just like competitive any sports, the pleasure sort of comes from the suffering and the struggle and the masochists who like to punish ourselves to dance the pain so good. But what I was going to say is ballroom dancing. I'm starting to sound like a fucking infomercial. Can I you can bleep that out, I guess, the F word.
no, without bleeping that
He's
out.
not believing it out.
Well, shit, fuck, piss. So
Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna have the editor fix it till when Stephanie's talking. Those are the words that come out.
perfect. Well,
I am
okay,
so
so
scared to see. Let me.
if you imagine, so every dance with ballroom dancing, what makes it so easy and so fun to do is every dance in ballroom dancing has two things that both people dancing it, the man and the woman, or the leader and the follower, understand these two things. You only have to understand these two things: the rhythm and the basic movement. So, like salsa, quick, quick, slow, right? There's the rhythm, quick, quick, slow. And the basic movement for both would be forward, replace, close, back, replace, close. So if you understand those two things, anybody from any country who's never even met each other can get together, the music's on, and you dance together and nobody's stepping on each other's toes because we're sticking to the rhythm and the basic movement. Whereas if you like other types of dancing, it's like people who do contemporary ballet can't do that. Like no, nobody's doing contemporary ballet socially, or even tap dancing. Because ballroom dancing, it has these prerequisites that everybody has to understand, and when you do, everybody can dance with each other. It's a really fun social activity, and that was the end of the infomercial.
Well, I got news for you. I got a
Speaking
list
of
of people.
music and dance, I have I have something going on behind me, so I can barely hear you guys.
Christ.
I'm beginning to think this is not Stacy's main gig.
No, and this is also a constant.
Anyway,
One day she did a show
we're
and
going to be going for the next hour or so. I'm going to stay on.
she's not going to hear a word we're saying. Um, one show she did, she was being chased in the subway, and we kept the live going. So
Oh, that's cool. Can we do that again?
Talking about me? I can't hear you right now.
I love it. I love it. Well, Stephanie, we were wrapping up anyway, with meeting you and Chris and kind of getting where the our beautiful thing we always do called Meet the Cast. We have a new show coming out. Look forward to seeing them in January and the official launch, and plus you will see them guest on other shows such as Rise with Lisette and Pretty Smart and Brilliant Swag, Right or Wrong, just to get them out there and see everybody. Two of my favorite new people in the Northeast. Chris is slowly replacing Stephanie, which I am so glad. I've been looking to get rid of her in my list, so she's dropping down to number. She's now my second favorite New Yorker.
But he still loves Stacy.
Yeah, I love Stacy's number one.
Stacy will never be replaced.
Stacy will never be replaced.
She gets so much attention. So
Oh, she can hear us now.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for having us today. We appreciate it. Look forward to this new venture. And nice to see you, Chris. Thank you, Peony.
I've just noticed how long this has gone. You see the fire? I need to put more wood in the fire now, so this is ending just in time.
Yeah, do that. Stay warm up there in the frozen tundra. Okay.
You want to see? Look how cool. Look at the snow. Hold on.
Okay, that's not
We
too
still
bad.
got frozen, icy snow out there.
Beautiful.
Oh, don't say that, Stephanie.
What'd you say?
It's so beautiful. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought you said he's gonna fall.
Like it is.
Well, the only way he would fall is if you taught him how to dance. Thank you, everybody. We will see
Bye.
you in
Thank
the
you.
next episode. Goodbye.